Hey guys, Brooke Whipple here. Welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk about something I've been thinking a lot about lately, which is food security. There's a lot of things you can do yourself to prepare in advance for food outages or disruptions in the food supply. One thing you can do is make some hardtack. Now, if you've never messed around with hardtack, it's a really interesting product. It has a very long shelf life. Now, hardtack was a staple food of the Civil War soldiers. And basically all hardtack is a simple biscuit with just flour, water, a little bit of salt. But in this recipe, I'm gonna add sourdough just for some more flavor. I've been experimenting and I think I've got a good recipe that you'll enjoy. Once it's baked and the moisture is completely drawn out of this little biscuit, it will last on your shelf for a very, very long time. I personally like them. I think they're tasty, but you better have some good teeth to dig in. Let's get started. Hardtack is really simple. We're just gonna make a very basic dough with basic ingredients. First thing you're gonna need is some flour. I'm using 2 1/3 cups of all-purpose flour. All right, now you're gonna need some whole wheat flour. I just wanted to add in some whole wheat for some extra nutritional value and just an interesting flavor. Now, if you don't use whole wheat flour very often, I recommend you store it in your freezer and that way it won't go rancid. I'm gonna go with 1 cup of whole wheat flour. There we go. Next up is salt. I'm just using a pink Himalayan sea salt and I'm going to put in 3 teaspoons. Now I'm just going to mix that up just a little bit to combine it. Now I'm going to add 1 1/2 cups of water. All right, I haven't mixed that in yet. I'm going to add in my sourdough now. And I'm going to go with 1/2 cup. Smells good. Love the smell of sourdough. Now, if you guys have never worked with sourdough before, I have a video on how to make your own starter, and I'll put the link below if you're interested in that. Now, we just need to stir it up. I'm gonna want this to be a nice, sturdy dough, not too wet. If it seems a little bit too wet, you can always add a little more flour. This is looking good so far. Now for me, the addition of the sourdough and probably a little more salt than is in a normal recipe, I just really like the flavor of it more. I'll throw some flour on my surface. There we go. Now I just can flatten this out into a rectangle. You can either do it with your hands or you can totally use a rolling pin. I see it rolls out really nicely. Just gonna put it into a square. And you can make these as thick as you'd like. I made the last ones about 1/4 inch thick and Dave thought maybe they should be thicker. So I'm just gonna leave them a little thicker this time. Okay guys, the next step is to cut it into some squares or whatever shape you wanna use. I'm just gonna use a pizza cutter. Works really, really good for this. So I'm just gonna cut them into kind of like saltine cracker size crackers or biscuits. Kind of like that little ting at the end. There we go. Next thing you can do is make some little indentations into your biscuit. And I use the tip of a chopstick to do that. And I keep a little flour here to dip the end in just so it doesn't stick. And I just do some little dots, indentations across my biscuit. It's just gonna help distribute the moisture in the cracker. And I kind of just like the look of it too. The reason hardtack lasts so long on the shelf is there's no oils, there's no butters, there's nothing that's going to go rancid in this little cracker or biscuit. I remember the first time I ever tried hardtack was on Alone Season 4 on the History Channel. So after 49 days in the wilderness, when they actually came and got us off the show, we were given hardtack. And that stuff tasted, it was so good. It was so amazing to me. Had a great crunch, and after eating like straight fish and like limpets for 7 weeks, you wanted something crunchy, you wanted something salty that you could really sink your teeth into. So this hardtack experience. My first one was just magical. So making your own, having something that is so shelf stable that you don't have to buy, it's literally pennies on the dollar to make this stuff if you think about the ingredients. It's just something really worthwhile that you can do at home, and something you can put away that's going to be there in case of, you know, a food emergency. These are also great to put in your backpacks, take hunting, you know, just a great staple. You can put them in some soups, in some kind of broth or liquid, and they just really give a nice substance to your soup. Okay, now I'm going to put these on my cookie sheet. Doesn't have to be greased or anything. I use parchment on my sheets, but you don't have to. It's not too fussy. All right, now it goes in the oven for about 20 minutes, and we're gonna flip the crackers over and bake for another 20 minutes. I got my oven set at 350. Ciao, Hobie. And we wait. Okay, the timer just went off. Oh, that blasted me with some steam. We're gonna flip these over. In order for these things to be completely shelf stable, you have to draw every little bit of moisture out of them. So it's really important that they are really, really super dry. Thus the name hardtack. Back in, I'm gonna rotate the pans too. I gotta say, it smells really good in here. The sourdough adds so much character to these hardtacks. You might be just eating these as snacks all day long. Just like a carrot. Here we go. All right, here we go. Let's see what we got. Sounds pretty crunchy, pretty dry. Let me show you what I got. So here we have the finished hardtack. It's actually, I think, really delicious. All right, there it is. Now to really be sure that they're dry, you're gonna wanna leave them out. Leave them out in the air, probably another day or two, just to make sure they're completely dry. You don't wanna put them away with any kind of moisture. That is the key with keeping them shelf stable. Guys, I wanna talk about storage real quick. What you basically have here is a survival bread, survival biscuits. You're gonna wanna keep it really dry. You wanna keep it moisture free. So that's how I store mine. The other cool thing about these, so you take them camping, you get out there in the backcountry, you're gonna need something rugged, tough, it's not gonna spoil. Take some hardtack with you. You can use this for so many things and it's gonna taste great. And you're gonna have a survival bread that's gonna last a really, really, really long time. Now apparently back in the day, the sailors and the soldiers that were issued this as a ration, they would take the butt of their rifle and chop it up just so they could eat it. They'd put it in their soups, they'd have it with beer, coffee, tea, or even just plain salt water to help dissolve it and eat it. So, I don't know, I just kind of like to eat it just like this. When it's fully hardened, sits out for a day, I mean, it sounds like a brick when it hits your counter, but I kind of like it. I like the chew, I like the crunch. It's very exciting for your mouth. I've starved before and I've had a piece of this and it was like gold. So I highly recommend it. If you want to see more sourdough recipes, click the link below. I've got a whole playlist. And as always, thanks for joining me. I'll see you on the next one. This girl in the woods, she gone. Oh, don't forget to get outside and get happy.